Yo, this is Salada, and today I'll be talking about the transits. So today's Sun, Sag, and Scorpio Moon. So you already know we've been going through Sag season. So Sag season is about, expressing your character, your spirituality, your morals, and also, the gifts of Sag is also having vision, clairvoyance, and all that good tangibilities and stuff like that. If you hit to it, you hit to it. But mainly Sag is like the spirituality, your morals, and basically like the character, because it's the fire. It's like the expression of the spirit, of your spirit. And then also we dealing with Moon, Scorpio. So Moon is the water element, and that's with the psychological process, the mechanism of water, and also deep passions and desires, and the shit that's under the closet. I mean, not under the closet, but under the bed or in the closet. Well, yeah. In the closet and shit like that. So these two energies are like really dope at the same time, because Sag is like the phoenix rises from ashes, and then Scorpio to transformation, and it goes to transformation, life and death. And so basically this trans is like letting go of shit that doesn't align with you, and then make shit lighter, basically, because Sag doesn't like to be too heavy and fixated and dense. But the Scorpio moon, it can be fixated and dense if you let it, or if you're around that type of space. But Scorpio is gonna be fixated on something. So instead of being fixated on like bullshit, and that means like letting shit go, like be fixated on like being creative, or having like creative arts and passions about what you're doing that's like creative and expressive, and that lines with like your individuality, your character, and shit like that, instead of being fixated on like narcissistic things, jealousy, hate, anger. Because the reason why like most people go to those fruits of anger and hate, those spoiled fruits, because Scorpio does with death. So like when you go through life and you gotta go through death, which is like the end of something, instead of like getting angry about something or hatred about something, you should gain wisdom out of it, instead of like the hatred. And like, okay, like why is that? Because a lot of people don't see the full angle of what's going on, or the bigger picture. And then most of the time it's just the ego. Their ego gets hurt, so they tend to go to jealousy and hate. And then sometimes it be bullshit. Like, don't get me wrong, it be bullshit, but you gotta let shit go. Like, don't take shit too personal, and like don't use that fixated because I see the cardinals. I like how I see it now. It's like the cardinal, mutable, and fixated. They're like temperances. So like each one, because like you gotta start something, you gotta change it, and then you gotta be stable on something. It's temperance. But instead of being like using that temperance instead of using temperance and being fixated on like bullshit, it should be fixated on like, okay, what can I learn from it, and then what can I like expand? Because Scorpion is like the expansion, in a way, the expansion water sign, because it likes to transmute things and then grow from it, instead of being in that type of bullshit continuously and not learning from nothing, not gaining wisdom. And then all you doing is throwing, bad seeds instead of the better seeds, good seeds. And also got the little aspects. I didn't even do the aspects for the trine and all that stuff, but I noticed that most of the aspects are, I didn't write it down, but I'm just gonna like say it. But I know Neptune sextile Pluto, so that means like having imagination, better seeds to plant, which is imagination, creativity, and then the thinking and feeling, you bring it down to reality, and you act upon it, and you express these things. And it's just like something simple. It ain't like really like all hardcore magical and shit like that. Like me, like it's an example, me expressing myself, talking on the YouTube channel, me creating art, me relating with people and shit like that. And also getting out of delusions and self-victimizing, because with the Pluto, it does it with like dark shit and shadows, and in like totality, it's just some shit that you need to get all over of, like the insecurities and stuff like that. because most of the insecurities are not even like really ours. It's just some like format that people people attend to or attract to or participate. If you become more broad as a person, you start to see like, okay, however I'm feeling, it's not really my feeling. It's just the environment, or it's just a situation I'm of. And then once you start to grow and stuff like that, you're like, oh, that's not even something to be insecure of. But yet we like going through things, we might tend to get insecurity because going through like different environments and different missions and shit like that, you're gonna get bruises. But that's what I'm saying, like you learn through the wisdom out of it. You gain wisdom out of it instead of like getting like the bad fruits out of it. So like, yeah, you're gonna have some insecurities, but most of the insecurities, like, oh, like the physical way, like the Disney type shit, like they'll be saying the Disney type of insecurities, like, oh, how I look, like basically the physical shit, like the physical insecurities, and like, oh, what I look like and how I look. Oh, what if I do this? What if I do that? Will they like me? Like basically living for other people instead of living for yourself, and try to try to change yourself, and not even trying changing yourself, doing it in alignment with people that you actually fuck with and actually align with you, and then also align with how your world, and then people that you fuck with, y'all can bring the world together instead of living for other people, living in people's heaven, which is going to be hell for you because you living for other people instead of living for yourself and doing better for yourself. And that's how most of the world is with this shit, and then that creates insecurities and stuff because you overthink, or you think for others and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with thinking for people, but let's be honest, this world ain't shit. Real talk. This world, it's funny though. It's funny, but yeah. So like having better imagination, creativity. In Pisces is direct now, so it's not retrograde. So during this retrograde, that was Pisces and Neptune. It was like basically like, I see retrogrades as something to like realize, like to get it's like a cleanup type shit. And then when it goes direct, it like you basically just dump stuff out. And then when it cycles back, that means it's time to clean up. So every time retrograde is like cycling, it's something to clean up or realize. Like I don't like how they try to make retrograde as like something that's bad, or like, oh, it's retrograde, oh my gosh, like nah, it ain't something to be scared of. It's just something to realize. It's like shadow work, or like reevaluating. You just reevaluating something. It ain't nothing too big, or like they trying to make it spooky or some shit, or like trying to make it like I don't like that shit. But basically, Pisces was in Neptune, so it was that time to like recalculate, reevaluate what's going on, what's cool, what's delusions, and then you able to see like, okay, what's that? You able to see the delusions, and you able to, okay, bring yourself on track, so you go on your path of being creative instead of being in that delusion or into some type of fear, or it's just some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that's in Pluto. And so Pluto's about the status. No. Pluto's in Capricorn, so that deals with the status. But Pluto majority is about Pluto majority is about the transformation, and then, death about something. So, bringing death to that. But also when you bring death, you also bring life to something, because that's how the spirit moves. You plant better seeds. And then also, I know that Mercury's in Capricorn, so it's good to do something material and be practical about something while you go on about your life. Being with people that actually like do shit, because you can't do everything by yourself in this type of age. And if you're doing by yourself, you gotta do it for all possibilities. You can't just do it for yourself. You gotta do it for a bigger picture, because let's be honest, not everybody's gonna be on the same type of mission. So when you by yourself and shit like that, you gotta do it. You do the shit, but don't do it for you. Don't be on yourself like, oh yeah, it's about me. But yeah, you get your 1-2 and shit like that. But at the same time, this is not all about you. So when you're doing shit for all possibilities, you gotta be in that type of mind state, or you doing shit for the devil. It's like all about me and being biased instead of seeing the bigger picture, because everybody that's spinning the game, the astrology game, and everybody's on this type of mission, we all basically painting the world and shit like that. And you might not see it depending on how you looking at it in the lens, but we all playing the world and shit like that. and it becomes really like in a better view when we all in reality together. But even though we're not in reality, that we still, that shows how like how much work we put in and how strong we are and shit like that. But that goes to say, give people that will align with you, because like nobody can do it by themselves. If you see people doing it by themselves, they in their ego, and they just like really like in their own world and shit like that. And like there's nothing wrong with having your own world, but you want to bring worlds together instead of being so isolated. And that's just like that Luciferian type shit. Like, oh, it's all about me and your ego and shit like that. Like, no, teamwork makes the dream work. And you doing it for all possibilities way, which people like to call God, but it ain't. I don't really like to call it anything, no term and shit like that. It just is what it is. Like, once you start being in that space, you just start doing stuff, and just because you like it, and it's actually like expansive, and like for like, so like it's like expansive, like expressive. So it's actually like expressive. It ain't no dirt on it, like no insecurities, no like type of blemishes. You just doing all that, like you start to tell like, okay, it is what it is. Like, this shit fun when you start to do shit. And then also Venus is in Scorpio, so that does with like, you know, deciding on how I see it is like, okay, I'm a Scorpio sun, so how I see it is like, okay. And then also got Venus, so like it's good to indulge into things, but also not too much into it, because too much anything is not good. And then also it's cool to be fixated and all, but it's like what I said, like picking things to be fixated on instead of like picking the bullshit out of it. And then also learning to balance things, because Scorpio, what I realized, like Scorpio can be too much indulgent into things, which that's why it's kind of like connected to Libra. So Libra does with the balance. So Scorpio, like if around this transit, it's good to be balanced with things instead of being too much indulgence into things. And that's why I realized around this type of time, and like it's good to do things, but you should have multiple things to do, like multiple tasks to do, or multiple projects to do, instead of being too fixated. And then also relax with your passions and your desires and shit like that. Like, don't get too flunked out. And and then relax with your sexual energy, because sexual energy is really powerful if you know what to do with it. And like sometimes it's cool to like, you know, party around with some people and shit like that, but also like that's the thing you need to take power control of is your sexual energy, because you can do some shit to it. Like if you feel like sexually aroused or whatever, do some shit with it. Like, you know, work on something instead of like be all like, you know, too much with it. And then it's okay to be too much with it with people, but like also have a percentage level, be balanced with it, because there's nothing wrong with it. Like that's how we all got here, you know what I'm saying? But like, let's be real, like we can utilize more than just having sex. Like have sex with creativity, you know what I'm saying? Be creative about something instead of like thinking, oh, everything's physical, I need to have sex in the physical. You got sex mentally and shit like that. Have better thoughts and feelings instead of always thinking that, oh, I need to, you know, have sex and shit like that. And then also Jupiter's in Taurus. So Scorpio is opposite from Taurus. So you start to see things in a different lens. So you start to see how things are expand. So like if you bounce with your energy and shit like that, you start to see like, okay, how can it expand material in the physical material world. So like once you start to notice like how to manage the Scorpio energy, you start to see how things expand. And then also Jupiter, like don't feel like in a weird place, or don't seem like, oh, things are not going well because you're not doing good material, physical and shit like that. Just know that like, okay, I know it's like how this world is and shit like that. So everything's not gonna be how I see in the spiritual lens. In the spiritual lens, it's just how it plays on the physical. Like just keep on doing you, like having that faith, belief, imagination and shit like that, because the physical world is basically shit. Like whatever we think is going to condense to the physical. Like, yeah, the Jupiter and Taurus guys props, but spiritual individuality ain't all about materialistic shit. It's just an aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? And then also, Mars is in Sag, so that connects with, you know, having passion and desire. I mean, action. Basically, having actions. You know, Mars is passion and action. So basically, having passion and action with spirituality, which individual expression. So yeah, so like, and that connects with the moon in a way. Passion, action, the moon. Yeah, because like the Scorpio moon and Mars, because they both like Martian signs. So that's basically changing. Like it's basically this is a big ass like change of character, which every day is a change of character, but some percentage level plays bigger than other percentage level. So yeah, so like this Sag Sun and Scorpio moon is basically the change of character, and then your whole cycle, like your whole way of thinking of how you see yourself and how you see the external. Because Sag is about seeing, and Scorpio is about because Sag seeing, it's like Aries I am, Taurus I have, Scorpio I transform. So it's basically how you see, how you transform things from internally first, and then the external, and then that connects with the Mars, because Mars, it likes to do things, and then the Sag, it likes to express things how it feels and what it sees, and then also the fire is like your character, the spark of the of your spirit and shit like that. So basically, yeah, this whole trans is basically like, you know, how you see yourself and how you transform things, and then the outer planets are like the themes. So like Taurus, Uranus and Taurus is like the value of yourself, how you see yourself, and how others sees you that align with you, because you know teamwork and teamwork, you should align with people that actually relate with you. And then also Neptune and Pisces, it's about, you know, what you see, your how you see wisdom, because my Neptune is the wisdom and individuality, which is spirituality, but in a way it's like spiritual arts and shit like that. So like how you see your creativity and your wisdom in the lens of in the eternal, because everything's internal, and then how you see it from the outside. And then Pluto is a transformation of your physical nature and shit like that. Because like for example, like Capricorn is the earth realm type of sign, so it's the physical, and then the airs, it's like the airs we finna go to the Aquarius, so that deals with air. So like it's basically the status of how you think in the mental realm, but since we're on the earth, it's like bringing it down to bringing it to the physical. So like whatever type of status, how you think, like basically like the knowledge and shit like that is going to condense to the physical. So basically like this whole like the outer planets are like the theme. So it's basically just transforming of how you value yourself and how you see yourself, and the status, basically the status, how you see yourself and shit like that. And then yeah, then the inner planets are just like the transformation and shit like that, if y'all get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, like that's it for the Sag Sun Scorpio moon. It's basically seeing yourself in a different lens of transformation, and how you see yourself inside and out. So when I talk, it's like different pieces and shit like that, different fragments, but hopefully y'all can piece up together and shit like that. But yeah, that's it for this video. Peace.